Hey, you guys. I hope you like my hair. Today is braid day at our house. My two girls always ask for Elsa braids, and they want me to participate in braids day. So, yeah, that's what it is. Hope it's not too distracting. Today, we are talking about priorities and are they in the right order? I think so many of us think we are doing our best. We are in survival mode in these days of motherhood, or we're building a business and we think we may have our priorities in the right order, but oftentimes we do not. It is something that we do to make ourselves feel better about. We're validating ourselves and why we're tired, and we're validating our exhaustion and our burnout. But our priorities need to be adjusted. It's not much else I can really say about this, so this will be a short video today. I realized early on that my priorities were in the wrong order, even though I thought I was doing everything I needed to do right. So this kind of goes along with video from day one, which I hope you've watched. If not, after this, you can go watch it, and it kind of goes along with the stories we're telling ourselves. So if you watched that video and you discovered a story that you have been telling yourself, I would love to hear about it, especially in the chat for this boot camp. But if you are thinking, okay, there's this story that I've been telling myself about what people will think about me if I do this or don't do this, or if they see this part of my life, what are they going to think about me? So for me, homeschooling has kind of been an interesting subject around. I have a lot of friends who are teachers who I'm sure they all have very regular concerns about why I chose to homeschool and how am I going to meet all the qualifications. I'm not a teacher. And that is good, but I have my my reasons that I chose to homeschool. And so sometimes I feel like I have to validate that decision by trying to make it okay with them. And the story that I tell myself can be around well, I need their approval because they're the teacher, they have the qualifications. I need their approval to tell me it's okay before I feel okay about homeschooling. And in reality, my choices and my decisions are mine, and it really suits our family and our lifestyle. So I don't actually need anybody else's validation for it. I just need to know that I'm okay with it, and that I also need to think about am I just trying to control too much and take on too much? And maybe I do one day, we'll decide okay, that's something I can take off my plate. So I want you to think about what stories are you telling yourself as we go throughout the week, of course. The day 2 was what can you do in those situations of stress and tension and overwhelm to calm your nervous system so you don't have an explosive outburst. And today we're talking about priorities. So if you have faith of any sort, whether it's religion, relationship with God, or however feels right to you. For me, I'm a Christian. I have a relationship with my creator God, and I know that that is my number one priority. And if that priority is being pushed aside because I don't have time for it, everything else in my life feels more stressful because I haven't taken that time to align myself with where my spirituality is. And I know that for, I'm going to say 100% of people, if you don't have some sort of, it's not even always a religion. Sometimes it's just a discipline. If you don't have something higher that you align yourself to, sorry, I don't know if you can hear those dings. If you don't have something that is a higher power that you align with, then you don't have anything to keep you accountable as a good human being. If you don't believe in any sort of I don't know how other way to say this without beating a dead horse. If you don't have something that is keeping you in alignment with being a person of integrity, you don't have anything to keep you accountable, then what is keeping you from falling apart in the other areas of your life? So if you have a discipline with growing your spirituality, then, and I feel like it's so funny, I'm wearing braids today, I feel like a hippie. You'll notice it in the other areas of your life. They will start to fall apart. If you are letting your health fall aside because it's not a priority, then you'll notice it in other areas of your life. You won't be able to keep up with playing with your kids. You'll get sick more often. Brain fog, your hormones will get out of whack, and you will have these explosive outbursts because your hormones aren't being taken care of. If your family isn't being a priority, then they'll start to feel neglected. And I knew this was a problem for me the day my daughter said, like, Mom, you don't just play with us anymore. She's 5, you guys. And I knew then that I had to have a conversation with myself about where my priorities were. And at that point, it was like my house was falling apart, and it was, I mean, I had a newborn, so I had to tell her, like, sometimes I just need some time to like feed Byron, change his diaper, and do that. And that he's gonna have need a lot more attention right now until he's more independent, and then we'll kind of get back into our normal routine of playing a lot more and that kind of thing. So I really had to check myself, like, okay, am I putting something like having a clean house over my relationship with my kids? And that's a bit of a gut punch, right? But I think all of us can have, we can relate to that on some level, right? So another way to look at that is like, okay, well, am I putting the perception of others on a higher priority than my own family's needs? What people are going to think about what my house looks like, or if I don't show up to church today, or if I don't show up to this event, or if I say no to this family event because we're not feeling well, or I really just need some time to like chill and recover and rest. What are those people's perceptions of me? Is that being held as a higher priority than like your needs and your family's needs? I have a worksheet that I have for this, and it's just like a PDF that you can print out, and it helps you each day write down your priorities so that you go forward in the day thinking of like what your priorities are for that day and then for the week. And then you can really sit back and look like, okay, are my priorities in the right order? Am I not putting other people's perceptions over my own like care and family and self-worth? And that will help align things so that you can, at the end of the week, look back and be like, okay, yeah, I spent a lot of time with my family. I actually scheduled in like a day where we went and did something fun. Or I went for a walk, even just like a 10-minute walk every day. I spent time outside. Gosh, there have been so many days where I've been working and then I realized I didn't go outside all day. And no wonder I feel off kilter. No wonder I feel really like just tired and moody, and like I didn't go outside. I didn't get any sunshine. And it's really easy to get caught up in the busyness of all the things that we have to do, and then you realize like, wow, I didn't do that. So this really helps make sure that you get those things into your day in the way that is right for you and not based on like what other people need from you. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this, or maybe certain situations. Like, everybody's life is in a different place where your priorities will change. Your priorities will shift and change, and that's okay. Like last year when I had Byron and he was a newborn, that was one of the hardest years of my life. He wasn't gaining weight, and my priorities had to shift, and the house became a mess. It became a disaster. And that's like, for that season of life, that was okay. And now where he's more independent, my kids play really well together for short periods of time, I can kind of move that up the priority ladder a little bit so that we can like enjoy the space that we're living in and not feel so stressed out by the mess all the time. So that is one of the focuses of the group coaching that we're going to be doing next month. If that interests you, I can send you the link to see if that's a good fit for you, but it will help you. We'll go through and kind of pick apart all your priorities and see where they are, and maybe illuminate some things for you about if your priorities are in the wrong order, if you need to shift things around, and how that could work for you. And maybe work needs to be on a higher priority at a moment, and then maybe sometimes it can shift down a little bit. Every mom and situation is a little bit different. So I'm going to leave this video at that for today. Again, please let me know if there's anything in the comments, any questions that you have, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.